one of my good friends, Uncivil Law, decided to uncivilly review Megan Fox's letter. And Uncivil Law is characterized, if nothing else, but by a kind and reasonable approach to women. He's very good at it. In fact, inspirational in how he approaches women online. The way he strikes them in public is something to behold. And we're going to go ahead and watch. We're going to watch Kurt review Megan Fox's letter because, whoo, baby, it's magnificent. I don't know what to say. I haven't watched all, like, I was watching it on mute and I could hear him. I could see steam coming out of his nipple holes because they're massive. And I'm sitting there like, whoa, Kurt is really mad. And the funny thing was, when I got to realize that Kurt has been mad for a really long time, like an absurdly long time, and he was just keeping it in, which is probably part of the swelling problem that he had. But it came out randomly during this whole thing. Kurt got really mad at me after I had a long conversation with him on the phone, and Kurt accused me of lying to him a whole bunch. And I said, well, I didn't lie to you. I just didn't tell you shit because you don't get to learn everything about my life at all times. But he was very upset about it. And I guess that was what went ahead and prompted him to speak endlessly for a short while, which makes it not endless, but I'm going to say that for a fact. To speak endlessly for a short while about just how jealous he was that I didn't write him paychecks, which is crazy because I remember Kurt's channel before I invited him on. And I remember Kurt's channel for a very long time. And after inviting Kurt on and having him on over and over, encouraging people to subscribe to him, and also counseling him personally just on how to improve his content, how to be more consistent, how to focus on things that he was good at, he should have been writing his own paychecks. And if he didn't write his own paychecks, that's his own fucking fault. But coming out and whining like a bitch that I didn't pay him was pretty sad, especially because I was very clear with everybody. I'm not paying you, and I would never ask you to pay me. That's kind of the business we're in. People who pay people for appearances, there are professional shows that do stuff like that. Or they even if they don't pay them, they might, like if you're going to be on Tim Pool's show, he prefers to have his guests in person. So Tim Pool will typically fly you out and bring you to the compound for the show. Like, that's cool. Tim Pool is a huge operation. Like the scale of the operation is so much bigger than, a show like mine or, just a single podcaster. And so those are anomalous. Those are different animals. Those are companies that happen to be operating on YouTube, not necessarily YouTubers, right? The YouTube culture for creators is not one that is pay to play or pay to participate. I don't pay my guests. I don't take appearance fees. I don't take percentages of super chats, and I would never do that. Like, I'll come on your show, you come on my show, let's do it. Let's grow audiences. And that's that's the name of the game. To see my friends, very friendly, to see them dripping with pent up jealousy that has been just held in openly was embarrassing. Like, I felt bad for me because I'm the most important person in that equation. But I felt bad for them. I'm like, why? One, you shouldn't feel this way because you have been successful well beyond your means. And that's good. That's what networking is, by the way. That's not a promotion of me. That's me talking about how it works. Like, just I've been successful well beyond my means because of the opportunities that people gave me, and then me grabbing those by the balls and saying, let's go. Let's do it. That's how this business works. And the fact that these very smart people just decided to ignore that and instead bitch and say that I should have paid them for something that I expressly told them I wouldn't was a little bit silly. And hey, did it get you paid? I hope you finally got paid for it. But I saw the show you were building, and I saw the show after I helped you build it. And one of them is considerably more successful than the other. You're welcome, you jealous bitches. But we're going to talk and make fun of Kurt as he reads through the letter, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It is, it's great. It's great. Pissed at you. I didn't realize you actually text Uncivil that you weren't friends anymore. We don't know the full details, and we don't deserve info any more than anyone else. But fuck bad look. So I texted Uncivil and told him we weren't friends anymore. What did I say? This will be good. Holy fuck. Yeah, I said, we are done. Never, ever reach out to me again. That was after both Kurt and Nate went online and said things that were absolutely untrue. The most offensive of which is the idea that I would pay someone to be on my show. That was just categorically false. And to hear Kurt whine about what was, again, Kurt's channel was embarrassing. Kurt criticized someone else's work as mine, which is fine. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, let's be buddies. Kurt decided on his own to have some sort of conniption and lie publicly about me, who has been a friend to him when he started off unfriendly to me. And I've been a friend to him through quite a bit. I've, again, counseled him both professionally in the YouTube realm and personally. And I've had very long, good conversations with him. I've met him. The man has been to my house. You know, he did a hot tub stream with me. I don't know if we did a stream. He hung out in my hot tub with me and everything. Like, to have him go out and try to capitalize on what I was going through, and to do so by lying knowingly. Yeah, get out. I don't need you. Fuck off. the idea that a friendship with Uncivil Law was beneficial for me in a way that was even close to mutual is, one, not true, and two, not why I have friends. But that apparently is why Kurt had friends. And I don't need to fuck around with that. There are changes in who I am from who I was. One of the things that I did was tolerate a bunch of shit and just tell people, hey, it's okay, don't worry about it. Because in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that important, I thought. What I learned was, when it comes down to it, the people that you extend grace to over and over again, they have no intention of doing the same. They have no intention of even doing you the courtesy of asking what's going on before they go out and spread something that they should know is very false. So yeah, I told Kurt to fuck off. I'd tell it to him again. I probably will in just a little bit. Here we go.
Kurt has always been a slimy sack of shit. I'm more impressed it took you this long to figure it out.
Here's what, if people haven't figured this out about me, the amount of like just grace and overlooking of various character flaws that people have, like I just am not there to, I just tried to be friendly with everybody. Like I really did. I enjoy people. I like their stories. I want to know about them. And so to have people like turn on me as if, again, as if me fucking my own life up was somehow an affront to them. Like somehow it became their story. Like, I can't believe Nick did this and how it affected us. Like, it didn't. It didn't at all. I mean, it made you guys a bunch of money. But then again, I always made you guys a bunch of money. So that wasn't any different. I don't know what the hell their problem was. We have Kurt here, and he is going to go through the letters of support. So this is it starts right here with Megan Fox. So look, with further ado, I'm not going to say without.
Here is a letter in support. Dear Judge Wenzel, I've known Nick Rekieta professionally and personally since 2022. Nick created an entirely new type of entertainment covering legal battles on YouTube that was wildly successful. Oh, bullshit. That he
Oh, here we go.
created it. He created the content.
Yes.
I object to that. I object to that. My channel
Overruled, bitch. Yeah, I've said it so many times. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't my brilliant plan. I didn't come up with a business strategy and go like, I'm going to create a new genre of entertainment. I just got online with my friends. Well, actually, no, I got online by myself and started laughing at what was going on and talking about it. And people started watching. And then a friend showed up in chat and was like, hey, you want to have me on for a bit? It was Nate. And I invited Nate on. I was like, yeah. And we had a good time bantering back and forth as we watched through 8 fucking hours of trial. Yes, though, Kurt, I did create this genre of entertainment. One that you are so abysmal at that in my absence, you cannot pull. Like, you have numbers that Asians count to in their sleep for your fucking viewership, dude. How are you still bad at this? You watch a trial. Most people want to watch the trial anyway. All you do is sit and entertain them when it's boring, which for trial is a lot of time. But there's these little nuggets where you get to explain something and bring some education. It's what we add. It's the value add over court TV or anyone else, is that they didn't have to pay people to do this because it would cost too damn much to pay people. But once we're able to independently do it and pay ourselves through the audience's participation, we partner with the people who want to be entertained in this way. And we got something out of it that didn't exist before. And yeah, man, I was the guy who did it. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say that I had some great, brilliant plan. It just worked out. It was this beautiful marrying of my personality and my entertainment style with something that people wanted to see. And then they found it. And it was awesome. Get over it. It's like, I object. Kurt, what have you created other than abysmal hairlines, man? What have you done? What have you built? Build something. Don't be pissed that someone else built it and someone else said that they did. It's true. Get over it. God, you're such a pussy. And you're about to get worse in just a second.
channel goes as far back as Nick's does. And if
my channel goes as far back as Nick's does. Dude, again, when I brought you on my show, the number difference in subscribers and active viewers was embarrassing, but it shouldn't have been. You're making it embarrassing by saying they go back the same amount of time. You should have said, yeah, I created my channel like way after Nick. Dude, you had a problem. And your problem in this is that you missed the key word in the sentence. It's entertainment. It's entertainment that I brought to this place where he's about to talk about the 2 other people being himself and Leonard French. The only thing less entertaining than Leonard French is Kurt talking about Leonard French. Dude, Leonard French became popular because he was this weird liberal guy who represented someone in Gamergate in an intellectual property case, which was as a practice area. And so a bunch of Gamergate people latched onto Leonard French and watched his channel for a while, and then his channel spiraled into nonsense. It's boring. It's bad. It's not fun to watch. It's not entertaining. He was court TV with worse commentary. Sorry. Look, credit to Leonard French for what he did, his representation, educating people, getting them excited to the law, but it's not good. It's just not good. And that's fine. I don't think Leonard French cares. And he certainly wouldn't care about my opinion. He'd have no reason to. But Kurt kind of idolizes Leonard French because Leonard French inspired Kurt to make his channel. Which is probably why his channel was fucking garbage. Anyway. I cannot. Oh my God.
If we want to go to the OG, it's got to be Lawful Masses. It's got to be Leonard French, who was the first. But
she's talking about trial streaming, though, Kurt. Like, that's really what she's talking about there. She's not trying to give me credit for talking about law on a broadcast. That happened long before Leonard French as well. In fact, actually, the people who own LawTube, I think their channels predate all of our channels, maybe even French's, but it doesn't really matter. She's talking about the genre of entertainment that is lawyers talking about trials as they happen, because that's what I created. And again, I don't take credit for creating it out of some brilliant plan. It was a wonderful happenstance marriage of a bunch of factors. It worked. And it was great. And everybody can just enjoy that. I've been paid for it. I've been wildly successful. I'm not asking for anything. I don't ask people to like bow down, but don't get mad when someone just says what happened. It's what happened. But Kurt has this giant problem. It's jealousy. It's envy. And it's a long pent up anger at me over something I still don't understand. Also, he smells like feet. Okay.
Yeah, he created it. Bullshit. He created. He might have gotten it. He might have popularized it. He might have been at times the most successful, but he created it. Bullshit.
No, I did.
Object.
Object all you want. You can be wrong.
His commitment to his work and love of law drove him to be one of the most successful law channels on YouTube, drawing hundreds of thousands of people to engage in legal discussions. Is that what people were doing? Engaging in legal discussions on his chat?
Yes, Kurt. People actually do frequently engage in legal discussions in my chat. There's just also people having other kinds of fun because I didn't just talk about law. And that's okay. Like, Jesus Christ. But see, the thing is, Kurt is mad if you're not having an erudite enough chat. Oh, bro. This is not good. This is not good at all. But yes, legal discussions happen in chat all the time. It's fine. There's just also funny people. You should learn to try both. They can coexist, Kurt.
I'm not sure about that. I've seen his chat. I'm not sure legal discussions is how I'd characterize it. But, you know, okay. All right. Let's see. Nick's unique style of covering trial from gavel to gavel with humor, legal analysis, and irreverence led to multiple law channels gaining notoriety and popularity. Holy shit, he's literally taking credit for me.
First of all, I'm not taking credit for you. I'm embarrassed by you, my son. No, Megan is giving me credit for your channel. She's also right, because your channel was sadder than it somehow still is back then. And me bringing you on and engaging with you and specifically mentoring you helped build your channel. In fact, I would argue that without that happening, your channel would still be in the dumpster where it belongs. Now, I've given you tons of advice on how to solidly capitalize on the things you're really good at, because Kurt is really good at some stuff. That's why I like talking to him. He's got an encyclopedic knowledge of Supreme Court cases. He has very good takes on constitutional law. I disagree with a lot of them. And he has an autistic level of logical approaches that, you know, like they're great. Like that's the stuff that Kurt's good at. He's not good at telling jokes. He's not good at getting through the use of the word I without saying it 7 times. And he's not good. He's not good with jealousy and just personality or self-control. And again, this is coming from me. One of my there's a stream where Kurt took 15 shots straight because a guy paid him $1,500 by Venmo or whatever on my stream, which was fantastic. I thought it was funny. But Kurt, like, you have the same problems with impulse control that I do. I'm just able to turn them into jokes more effectively than you are. It's okay. We have different skills. But I told you exactly how to do this. And if you just listened, you'd be way more successful. But instead, you wanted to do a video where you shove your face in the camera and rub ass cream on your ass while jiggling maniacally to people. Like, what are you doing? Why did you do that? What were you thinking, my man? What were you thinking?
He's literally doing I created you. Holy shit.
I'm not. I didn't
Holy
write
shit.
this letter.
I created you. I created you.
I did. I created.
Wow.
I used all of the clay to make
Wow. Epic. Is it too late for me to write a letter? Does the government need me to write a letter? I mean, it's not supposed to be sent till tomorrow, right? Is it too late?
Hey, Kurt, the government didn't need you, and that's why you got fired. They don't need you for anything. Because you don't do the work. You want to talk about damn near anything. Kurt, your work ethic was bad. It was always bad. I don't know if it's still bad. You're looking better than you used to look, so I have to think that there's something there. But the government fired you. They didn't need you. They don't need you to write a letter. They didn't need you to write anything because you stopped writing. Your work ethic on your streaming has been terrible up until the time of my arrest. I don't know afterwards. And I'm sorry, man. But if you want to know how I built my channel and how I stumbled into a genre of entertainment was up until my life went into crisis, I showed up. Now, long before my arrest, I stopped and my work ethic became comparable to some other people. That's on me. That was my fault. I have, again, reasons for it. They're private. They're personal. You guys don't have access to all of that. That's fine. But I started spiraling out of control, not with drugs and alcohol, actually, but with some personal issues. And in those spirals, I stopped working hard. I stopped showing up. I stopped being there. When you're not there, you can't make stuff. And Kurt, you weren't there. When you were there, you're rubbing ass cream and jiggling your gullet around with your face in the camera. Dude, what the fuck were you doing and why? And these were things that you were doing all the time. I tried to tell you, just make the content and make the content that you're good at. Here's what you're good at. As your friend, I'm telling you, never fucking listened. Not once. So he built me. Yeah, because you wouldn't build yourself. And to drag you kicking and screaming into subscribers, you big bitch.
Too late for me to write a letter? This is some bullshit. Call me if you need me to write a letter, government. I'm here. Oh, Lord. The law became approachable for the average person through Nick's invention. I am going to be sick.
Be sick all you want.
Several channels became successful because of his model. An entire community known as LawTube grew out of Nick's influence. Okay, so not only is he taking credit for it, He's also taking credit for the term LawTube,
No,
a term
I
that
hated it.
he repeatedly rejected.
She actually didn't say the term LawTube. She said the LawTube community, which not only did the LawTube community develop specifically because of my channel. Again, I hated the LawTube community. I disclaimed it. I said, throw it away. It is not the prodigal son. It is the fucking lamb to be slaughtered. Get rid of it. But the LawTube community, as it were, literally asked me to run it as the CEO of a business. So yes, I will take credit for that one too. I'm sorry, world. I have a lot of penance here. But I did make that. I made it. I'm sorry. I didn't try to. I was just trying to tell jokes and drink whiskey. That's it. Don't be mad about it. Be happy that you have a channel with 144,000 subscribers and you should be pulling 6 figures of income. If you're not pulling 6 figures of income, it's because you're bad at this. But you should be. With that level of subscribers, you should be pulling 6 figures a year, no problem. And if you listen to me, you definitely would be. If you're still guesting on my show, I guarantee you would be. Are you mad because when I got arrested, I got taken away from you? Like, is that what happened? But yes, people asked me to run LawTube, to be the actual head of an organization of YouTubers, to pay them out based on proportional work contribution, to have shared access on channels before StreamYard and YouTube like partnered up and built that. That's what they asked me to do. The reason they did is because I'm the guy who made it.
Did and wanted nothing to do with.
I hated it.
Outstanding.
I hated the idea that you could kick people out.
This led
of
to
what they
many
wanted
people
to do.
becoming interested in law, going to law school, becoming lawyers, making lifelong friends with who shared interest in legal battles, and changed the trajectory of many lives for the better, including mine. My channel was positively impacted by Nick's unique approach to online entertainment, and
I guess he didn't want to criticize that line, which is also true. I'm sorry, world. This is what happens. I made a bunch of lawyers and I'm fucked up. Like, what a terrible choice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wish I would have never made another lawyer. Like, Jesus, forgive me. When you come back tomorrow, please. There, I said it. Law schools owe me.
his direct advice and help. Like the vast majority of lawyers, Nick struggled with substance abuse. I don't think this is the vast majority of lawyers. I do agree that lawyers have
It is. It is.
a higher than normal rate, but I'm not sure it's the majority of lawyers. And I'm also
Now, see, here's the thing. It's struggling with substance abuse because all lawyers are trying to abuse substances. They just might not get there. Look, the confirmed substance abuse rate of lawyers is, I believe, the highest of any industry or profession. Megan's statement extrapolates beyond the confirmed part into what is really going on, which is a vast majority of lawyers walk around with undiagnosed substance abuse problems. Yes, they do. Period. That's it. That's a true statement. Lawyering is hard. It's a lot of responsibility of other people's lives. And if you fuck up, like, their lives are ruined. So yeah, they carry a big burden. It's one of the reasons I don't like practicing. I don't want the responsibility of someone else's life in my hands. What if I have a shitty day? What if I fuck up? What if I'm going through something? And what if I stop showing up for work? What if I wish I could stop showing up for work? You have to talk to your law partner to arrange your suicide so they can take over your files. Like, you have to give access to people. Like, Jesus Christ, it's a brutal profession. And the people who really want to succeed in law at high levels, they're starting out at 80 to 100 hours a week. and they make decent money, but man, it's hard work. And there's a million more of those alpha personality assholes graduating every year. Like it's fucking brutal. They drink like crazy. They use substances like crazy.
Also, not sure it's the vast majority of lawyers who struggle with substance abuse. But, maybe I'm off on that one.
Yeah.
This is a well-known and studied problem for the legal profession. It's so widespread that every bar association has programming lawyers for substance abuse problems. Well, maybe Nick should have taken advantage of one of those programs. Maybe that would have been nice.
I'm not a member of the Minnesota State Bar, which is just a professional organization and has no impact on your licensure because fuck them. No, here, Kurt, buddy, if you don't understand this, I didn't want to be sober. I have to be and will, and I no problem with it, but I didn't want to be. I enjoyed use. I abused substances, I guess, like that's the proper term for it, but I just liked them. They were fun. They supplemented the activity I was engaged in very well. Bad choices, bad decisions. Yeah. It wasn't a substance abuse problem. It was a substance abuse goal. That was the aim. I don't know how to say it more candidly. It's just what it was. But no, why would I engage their services? I didn't want to change. I liked what I was doing. Was that wrong? Yes, of course. It obviously was wrong. I'm now suffering the consequences of that. But Kurt, I hope you take your own medicine on that. I assume he's stopped drinking. Maybe. He drank quite a bit. Kurt could walk shot for shot with me, no problem.
The stress of quickly attaining fame and fortune is often a catalyst for substance abuse that's also widely acknowledged. Yeah, but he came from money.
That's not why I did it.
So it wasn't the money.
This is a stupid rumor. I did not come from money. My grandfather became wealthy in 2007. I didn't come from money. My parents were two middle-class workers. They both worked full-time through at least high school. My mom may have stopped working while I was in college. I can't remember exactly when it was. But I had a two-parent working home, just like everybody else in the fucking middle class. When we moved from Texas to Minnesota, my dad's company had to buy their house because they were so far underwater on it. They couldn't afford anything, and they had to start over from scratch. And we lived in that house in Houston for something like 9 years. And their equity had flipped. The adjustable rate mortgage crisis kicked the shit out of them. I did not grow up wealthy. I did not come from wealth. A member of my family became wealthy in 2007. And yes, some of that money has trickled down to me. Not anywhere near as much as anyone thinks. That's not how it works. And two, if it did, I wouldn't have. Guys, have you met me? If I was wealthy, I would just not work. I would not do this at all. No. Jesus Christ. And again, this is a persistent rumor that I believe I've actually told Kurt the full story about this, and he just decides to repeat a lie instead. That's friends for you.
Nick's meteoric rise to success no doubt played a role in his mistakes. We're doing affluent.
Dawn Wanderer says, lol, he was in a very white Houston neighborhood. There were two white kids in my elementary school, me and a kid named Johnny, who got beat up by George and Calvin. He deserved it. We did not have a very white neighborhood. My neighborhood was predominantly Black and Hispanic, like most neighborhoods in Houston. Again, this is insane. But hey, what do you want? All these people talking with authority about my life, and none of it's true, which is wild. I've talked about my life the entire time. My story is consistent because it is the story. Other people decided that that there's all this stuff going on. But hey, you know,
Because I'm special because I'm successful. That's neat.
if you know me and you've talked, I've never, ever claimed to be special because I'm successful. I've never claimed to be special actually at all. I constantly marveled at the success of my channel because I don't actually understand what the draw of the genre is. I would not watch my show. It's not my thing. I love that people love it. But I just started drinking and talking. I wanted to tell stories my whole life. I love that I get to talk for a living. That's what I wanted to do. That's what I did work towards and eventually built and was successful at it. That's great. But I'm not special because of that. I'm just me, just a guy. And I've always said that. Like, this is crazy. And even in this explanation, I keep saying I didn't do any of this intentionally. It was just the fortune of these factors. But hey, that's how it works, man. Sometimes you're in the right place, the right time, and the right opportunity presents itself, and you grab her and you raise your skirt and you go to town, man. Like that's how it goes. I guess Kurt probably doesn't know about that. How much to do is shit? That's
That's
tall order,
interesting.
Melanie.
That's an interesting angle. Nick acknowledged he broke the law.
I did.
I'm not really sure that that's even necessarily true. He pled guilty, but given some of the things he said online, even since then, I'm not really sure, strictly speaking, he can be said to have acknowledged it.
This is unreal. Megan, by the way, has bitched me out a million times because someone was talking about on Twitter. They're like, what were you doing? I was like, where was that guy? I was like, that guy was doing a mountain of cocaine. And speaking about myself, like as a joke, but it wasn't a joke. Like once I got to tell the court, yes, I had a bunch of cocaine. It was mine and only mine. I'm the one who did it. I did this. How can you possibly go out and be like, I don't know if Nick did that? Of course, you can read the transcript. You could read the plea petition. It's very specifically, I possessed this much cocaine because I did. Also MDMA and ketamine. It was a mixture. That's the statute. Never ran from it at all. I exercised my rights. I challenged the warrant. Once that was done, it was basically plea time. What do you got, Kurt? What's next?
But,
what's amazing here is Kurt can't point to a statement where I would suggest anything other. I have said endlessly, without a shred of, you have to understand this. I don't inherently regret my choices. I regret what my choices produced, and that's my fault. I regret the damage that I did to my family. But I can't say I regret doing fun things when there were no consequences. I can't say that and be honest. But I did them. I violated the law. I broke the law, and I have to now have my comeuppance. That's part of why I said not a comeback, but a comeuppance. This is the penance for the sin. I acknowledge the sin right out. And I will make no bones or beef about it. It actually bothers people because they're like, what are you doing? Why are you saying that? It's like, because I did it. I did the thing. I did it a whole lot. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I did that because of what it produced. But had it never produced the negative result, I wouldn't have been sorry. I wouldn't have had a reason to. It's a weird way that drug law works. Drug law makes drugs illegal, whether the consequences of the drug use are bad or good. It doesn't matter. The mere act of owning drugs is illegal. Again, even if you don't ever do them, owning the drugs is illegal. It's one of the few things that we just say, nope, you just can't own that at all. Okay. What is the moral quandary of possessing drugs? Now, mind you, some people you can make an argument about drug trafficking and it influencing the drug trade. The judge talked about that. Like, you can make that argument, sure. But let's say, hypothetically, someone just walks up and hands you a bag of an illegal substance and you just set it on your shelf. You are committing a felony and you didn't do anything to anyone. And there is no consequence that logically springs from that action other than the government's intervention. The government's intervention is what causes the damage. It's your fault. You shouldn't own the thing. I did that. I owned the thing that I wasn't supposed to do. The amount of times I've said this since pleading, it was so relieving to say, yes, had a bunch of cocaine. I have a bunch of funny stories from it. Fucked my life. Absolutely demolished it. It has been a living goddamn hell, but I did it. I don't know what else to say. Like, it happened. And it happened because I chose it. It didn't happen to me. What the fuck do you want? I've not strayed away from that at all. He's talking about specifically after my plea. Once I pled, I was happy to say so. Jesus Christ, what a relief.
Nick acknowledged that he broke the laws, taking responsibility for it by pleading guilty to possession. The community and his family would not be served by his incarceration, but be served by his rehabilitation and his ability to get back the job he loves, explaining the law to his audience while entertaining them and supporting his family. In the years I've known Nick, I've known him to be generous with his time and helpful to anyone who wanted to know how to be successful on YouTube. He has a genuine desire to help others and has helped me on many occasions, whether it was to give me advice about my channel or just be a friend and listen when I need someone to talk to. Nick is loyal, kind, empathetic, smart, and passionate about his work. He is a good friend, and good friends are rare.
They sure are, aren't they? They sure are. Yeah, I'm kind of a bro, Kurt. And you know that, which is, I don't even know what he's about to say, but like, thanks, Megan. That was really kind. But yeah, I try to be friends with everybody. Huge mistake. Won't make it again. I'm sorry to people who would have otherwise interacted with me. That's reduced. It just is. I have to protect myself, which is crazy to think about. Because I really do enjoy just being with people, learning about them, figuring out what they've been through that I haven't. And I was happy to share my platform, my knowledge, some good laughs and good times. But apparently that wasn't good enough.
Okay. I've also witnessed...
Kurt, do you know how true your existence makes what she just said? Because if I wasn't empathetic, kind, loyal, I would not have been friends with you. We were in different echelons of YouTube. We are in different echelons of life. We are in different echelons of weight. We are in different echelons of physical and mental health. Brother, we would never have interacted if I wasn't those things, because you are sad and have been sad ever since I met you. And it's soul crushing to be around you. It is soul crushing. That's what being a friend is, though. You should take some notes.
Nick's interaction with his children and know they love him deeply and they share a loving, lighthearted banter that only love children have with their parent. I will give him that much. I visited him at his house and I saw him be very good to his children when I visited them. So at least at the time I visited him,
At least
He was a good father,
I must
and
have,
and
I
he
must
had a
have
good
just
family.
not been a good
It seemed to be
father.
working relatively well. So that I will give him that much. That much is true.
Thanks for giving me that, Kurt.
It is unmistakable that I love him and he loved
can you believe
them.
it? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Now he built that. He built my family. He built. I object. I object. I object. He built my fatherhood. I object. Jesus Christ.
Being a present father is important to Nick. Nick is also the main caregiver to his children, responsible for all their transportation to school events and classes.
That's a little bit of an that's not entirely true. That's an exaggeration.
His children would not be
Not
served
much of
by a
them.
separation from their father,
Spend a
and the
ton of
state
time
should
doing
not
it.
take a father from their children unless he's a danger to society as the last option. Nick Rekieta is only capable of being a danger to himself, and I believe he'll recover and make better choices.
Thanks, Megan.
I'm not sure about that either, but okay. This is Nick's first offense against the law. I believe he can recover, and the community should invest him and help him doing that. Everyone deserves a second chance. Many other people have completed diversionary programs and recovered their lives. It's my belief that Nick can recover his life and thrive after this unfortunate episode, in which I remain hopeful as a temporary setback in an otherwise amazing career and future. I hope this court sees the man I know and not the one gossiped about for chief laughs or the persona fighting back against the gossip publicly. Okay, that sentence is the most telling sentence ever. So even this person, Megan Fox, even she subtly acknowledges that in his public statements, since he's pled guilty, has been less than, let's say, fully accepting of his criminal responsibility.
No, absolutely not. That is not what she's saying. She's saying that there are some that there's an online persona that is the entertainment part. Then there's an online persona of someone who is fighting for his reputation against people who are not telling the truth. That has nothing to do with accepting the responsibility or the criminality of my actions, which I have done, again, especially from the guilty plea. And if you go back and watch my statements through all of this, they're very carefully worded. I never disclaimed criminality. Ever. I never had a statement that could be found where I said, oh, I didn't do this or whatever, because I didn't make statements like that. I was very intentional in not making those statements because they complicate things like plea agreements. And that was something I had to think about going forward. But Kurt doesn't actually research this stuff.
Even she has to admit that much, right? But it's not him, Your Honor. It's the persona. It's the persona that's gone online and said all kinds of things that might be viewed as not accepting responsibility. It's just the persona, Your Honor. Really, him.
You actually missed
really
the
the person
of that.
He
sentence.
fully accepts responsibility in every way. He has done nothing but accept responsibility in every way. It's just that unfortunate persona online that has gone forward and said things that could be potentially viewed as not fully accepting responsibility in the deepest possible sense. It's the unfortunate persona. I like that even she has to acknowledge that some of the statements online have been less than fully that's fun and exciting.
Yeah, Kurt,
I hope this court sees the man I know and not the one gossiped about for.
Kurt literally can't read. He has the reading comprehension of a toddler at this point. Like that is not what Megan even, that's not what the sentence says. That interpretation is not just negative, it's embarrassingly negative.
Cheap laughs or the persona fighting back against the gossip. The Nick I know is a man who loves his family, helps those around him, makes mistakes, and then inspires others to be good humans. Nick is also deeply remorseful of any harm or pain he's caused to his children and family. He may not discuss it publicly, but privately, he's devastated. Okay, sure. Many times, Nick used his platform to raise money for audience members in need by advertising their GoFundMe accounts.
Does Kurt think that I was not publicly privately devastated? I was publicly devastated, also privately devastated. She said he may not discuss it publicly, but I did from time to time. Not everybody sees everything I say. That's fine. But yeah, here's the thing. You do, first of all, Megan was always frustrated with how I presented on social media because she knew how people like Kurt would read it, which is completely disingenuous. The fact that I did a bunch of cocaine is a fact. There's no way to say that without it sounding funny. Like it just does. But it's a fact that happened. That doesn't mean that the results of that decision were not devastating and that I'm not remorseful. It is a thing that did occur, but I'm hugely remorseful of the harm that it caused, of course. There's no benefit to me saying that now. I can't like go in and redo sentencing or anything like that. Of course I'm remorseful. The whole idea was that there were no negative consequences. Like it's like an engine turning up, right? Like you try some hard drugs, nothing bad happens. Like you find out that like the DARE program has completely propagandized like how drugs actually function, what they do, and their physical dangers. Like they can be very dangerous substances, but not in the way that we were taught. They're just not. And so you start to go, oh, okay, no, this is actually fine. Like, oh, you can control it, whatever. But man, when that hammer hits and the government literally busts your door down and arrests you and takes your children away, Jesus Christ, that you're the one holding the literal bag. You're there. It's like, well, this is my fucking fault. Holy shit. Because you never thought anything like this would happen. Ever. Because it didn't happen. You didn't have consequences. And then you do. And then there's nothing you can do to go back from it. It just isn't. To read that as no remorse is just dishonest. But I just speak candidly about like what was done. People can learn from it. At least squeeze some benefit out of it.
Nightly, is that what he talks about for the charity? Is that what he's doing? Is that the charity he's raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for? Is he referring to GoFundMe's that he took?
No. I'm referring to charities that I have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for and also contributed personally tens of thousands of dollars to those charities. Also to GoFundMe's, also to Indiegogos, also to Kickstarters, yes. Give, Send, Goes. Not all of those are charities, but no, also charities, Kurt. How much have you done? What have you used your platform to help people? I did. Maybe should have done more. I don't know. Dude, like, yes.
Notice of, and so that's the charity he's raised millions and millions of dollars for.
Not millions. It's not what you said.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I mean, that's a take, I suppose. All right. Nightly, he would talk to them about their struggles, including thoughts of self-harm, and he always encouraged them to find something to smile about and try again. I've heard from many individuals who told me, Nick Rekieta saved my life, after reaching out to Nick in a dark time and finding someone who cared to respond. Incidentally, not for nothing, when I tried to reach out to Nick, back when we were still on speaking terms, but when I tried to reach out to Nick, I found him very, very hard to reach.
Yeah, I'm very, very hard to reach, Kurt. But when someone reached out to me and said, hey, I'm going to end it tonight, I would talk to them. You know what most of my colleagues said about that? Don't do it. Can't do that. You just don't do it. Don't do it, man. It's never good. I've talked to dozens of people who are on the brink of suicide, told them, hey, don't suicide. Just don't do it. Things will get better. When Kurt's reaching out to me, he's reaching out to, hey, what's up? Like, yeah, sorry. And you're also talking about a period of 7 years in which my life went from being a little bit more organized to a little bit of a fucking disaster. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't answer your phone call, Kurt. I didn't always have an hour to talk to you. Or anybody. Jesus Christ. Besides saving everybody from killing themselves.
So, just saying. I pray this court will honor the plea agreement in this case and refer Nick Rekieta to probation. Sincerely, Megan Fox, author/journalist, also Baldo Washer. All right, what else do we have in terms of letter?
Baldo Washer? Like, come on, Kurt. Bald, like you're borrowing insults from places like Kiwi Farms now. Like, that's where you are? Okay. All right. I won't even talk about it. I was gonna make a Baldo joke, but people get so fucking ass hurt by it. It's like, okay, calm down. Why is everybody so mad all the time? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, sometimes I deserve to have people be mad at me, but again, Jesus.